Our family calls it juju. Could be good luck, good fortune, but do you believe on stocking up on that before a cruise? Well, it turns out on this trip to Ensenada, we needed it. Okay, I didn't really believe in that stuff. You know, I'm a logical person. My wife is especially a logical person. But my sister-in-law read my wife's astrological chart and said, you need to donate blood for good luck. My wife gave blood. I was kind of rolling my eyes at this whole thing going, whatever. But, you know, I thought I'd give it a try. So fast forward to Ensenada 2024. Now, we've done 2 previous videos about Ensenada, and a lot of people in the comments were saying, why didn't you go to La Bufadora? We decided, let's give it a shot. But instead of doing a ship tour, which we thought would be more expensive, we decided to rent a car. We're going to be really smart about this, right? We're going to rent a car, we're going to go to La Bufadora, and then have time to go up north to the wine country to check that out before returning the car back. It's going to be an awesome DIY. Now, we had an all-aboard time of 4:30. My son and nephew slept late, so I kept thinking, time's a-wasting, come on, let's go. So I had to go ahead of them to rent the car, then pick them up. So I booked with Hertz ahead of time, and the price was pretty reasonable compared to a ship tour. From the port, it's a pretty easy 10 to 15 minute walk. It's just a couple blocks directly north of the big flag. Once at the office, it took all total about 20 minutes between the paperwork, inspection, and hitting the road. So between getting off the ship, walking, and getting the car and actually on the road was about 40 to 45 minutes. And that was a pretty fast process. There was nobody else in line in front of me, and it was a pretty light day, so, you know, that's the minimum you should expect. By the way, water supply is limited in Ensenada, so the exterior may not get washed. But the interior was well vacuumed. So we switched drivers and we headed out to La Bufadora, about an hour south. You guys comfortable back there?
Yeah.
Okay. This part was all about going with the flow and having enough confidence in our driving to be flexible in the new country. Lots of potholes, hard to see traffic lights.
Oh my god, I almost don't see it too.
Yeah, it's
Shoot,
very
it's
hard
so
to
small.
see that. And multi-lane roads with no painted lanes. Sometimes. We turned onto Route 23 with some increasingly pretty views of the mountains and the ocean. And then...
Something happened.
oh, it's a breakdown. Oh my god.
Major accident. Pretty high impact.
We noticed the accident coming into La Bufadora, and we drove down, saw a couple bodies on the road. When we came back up, everything was blocked. That section of the road was completely blocked for an investigation. Apparently, it's a fatal accident. 2 people died, and after about an hour waiting, police said it's going to be about 5 hours to get the road opened again, which is going to be beyond our sail time. So it's kind of a mixed feeling because people died, so it's my problems are kind of small in comparison. So we drove back, we're in a restaurant, seeing about what our options to return the car, if anybody else has been affected by this, and how many other people on the ship are affected. We'll just have to see how it goes. Right now it's kind of about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're just having lunch here, and we're just trying to make some calls and see what our options are. Now, I did take a picture of the station agent's number before leaving the ship, which I used. I also took pictures of our passports in case we needed a backup. We always kept our physical passports in a safe in our stateroom. Now, my head was mulling over the possibilities of the ship leaving without us. Which hotels are available in Ensenada? Should we fly out of Tijuana? And since we can't leave the country without our physical passports, will they be available to us when we get back to port? Or do we have to go to the U.S. consulate to get them replaced? So the possibility of not getting back on the ship was heavy in our minds, but also the accident we saw and the people who died. There were 2 grave markers on the road that I videotaped, so obviously this is not the first time
No.
this road's seen this sort of thing. So
Yep.
we reasoned if we found other Princess passengers on the tour stuck here as well, the ship wouldn't leave. So at 2:30, Angelia decided to do some recon at La Bufadora with the boys while I stayed at the restaurant. This was a last shot to see if the road might be open. Surprisingly, they picked me up in 20 minutes.
We left the restaurant, we go down, and then in this like taco place, like in the back corner,
Right.
there's a
Like
bus.
a big, huge.
And Ima was telling us, look for buses. So I'm like, oh, that's a bus. I couldn't tell if it's Princess or not. But then we go up, and I see this guy in the back of the line, and then there's a white thing here, and the circle here is a medallion.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
told them look for the bus, and then once we find the bus, we have to look for medallion.
Right.
Then we know they're from Princess.
Okay, so you found them, so then what?
Yep. So then we decided to turn around because that bus seems to be broken down.
And
So
then we see a second bus coming in as we're leaving.
yes,
Right.
And then we were wondering how that bus get in.
exactly.
So then we went to go check the entrance, and as soon as we get there, the police officer blows his whistle and he's telling the cars to go.
So this is they only have one way, so they just release the other way.
Right, so they open one lane because they're probably still clearing
They
it.
just put everything on the other lane so no one can go there.
Yes.
Yes, and oh, you believe in that juju? I thought you're the most logical woman.
You do not tame the juju. I told you. And not only that, the fact that we donated right away, right on the turn of the year of the dragon. That blood saved people's lives and most likely saved ours. Was it right? We don't know. But that would have been a 5 minutes different. It could have been us. Because I am not taking my chances with the juju. Just saying.
Does COVID shot count?
Juju.
Okay.
What time are you gonna be getting into Ensenada? Are you guys gonna be there soon? Are you gonna be able to make it?
Yeah, we'll
yeah.
go make it. We'll get there by 4 o'clock. Boarding time's 4:30. I'll drop them off, get the car back, and I'll be back just in time. So
Yeah, so we're back.
we have rented a car in Mexico before and plan to do so again, probably to the wine country. But we'll keep ourselves aware and slightly better prepared. What do you think? Let's start a chat in the comments.